Learn how to use motion tracking in Pinnacle Studio to blur out sensitive information, like a child's face or a company logo from your footage, anchor text or an image to a moving object within your clip, or create a motion-tracked mask to add special effects to your projects. Want to know how to do this? Let's dive in. Let's start by using motion tracking to blur out this baby's face. Just ensure the clip you want to track the motion of is selected on your timeline. Then click the motion tracking icon. This opens the motion tracking interface, with options to mask an object or to follow an object. In this case, we want to mask. We can select either a circle or a square as our starting mask. So I'll click the circle, then drag over the baby's face to create a rough mask. By default, the mosaic filter is on automatically, and we can change the amount of this mosaic effect, or turn it off and blur the contents of the mask instead, or use both together. I'll turn both off so I can fine-tune the mask. Click and drag one of the outer portions of the mask to resize it, or drag individual nodes to cover up your subject. Then we need to track the mask over time. We can track either forwards or backwards, one frame at a time. And you can see the bar turn yellow for each extra frame I track forwards. Or I can track forwards or backwards until the end of the clip. Or just click the center icon to track forwards and backwards across the whole clip. So I'll select this. If the object stays on screen during the entire clip, then the bar below should turn fully yellow once complete. Jump ahead to a few different places on your timeline and see if the mask still covers your subject whenever you need it to. Looks good so far, so I'll turn Mosaic back on, rewind to the start, and play back the whole clip to check again. I'm happy, so I'll click OK to return to the timeline. Here's a new timeline, and I want to motion track a text message graphic to the phone in the clip. Click Motion Tracking, and this time, follow object. Click the tracker, then click on your clip at the point you want to track. I'll click the camera on the back of the phone as it's a slightly different color to the rest of the phone, so Pinnacle should be able to track it well. Then I'll add my graphic into the Add Clips box. I can resize it. And in this case, I don't want the message to be right over the phone, but offset from where I place the tracker. So I can either use the offset sliders, or just drag the clip to where I want it to be relative to the tracker. Then again, I'll click to track the whole clip. Play the result. Perfect. I'll click OK to return to the timeline. So now let's look at a more complicated use case. I just want a portion of this clip to be tracked, and I've got the same clip on two tracks at the same time, and I'll show you why shortly. I've got markers here, which mark where I want the tracking to start and stop, so I'll cut the top track at these marker points. Delete the portions outside of the markers, then select the remaining clip and then motion tracking. I need to draw a precise mask here of the car, so I'll start with a circle. Move the nodes where I need them. And I can click anywhere on the line of the mask to add a new node. And I'll fast forward through this section until the car is masked. Now to track the mask. For more complicated masks like this, feel free to see if Pinnacle can successfully track the whole clip, but you'll probably find you need to make adjustments. If some of your nodes start to move away from the position where you want them to track, just find the first frame where they do this. Move the node to where it should be, and then just track forwards. You may find you need to add new nodes to help the mask as it evolves. That's fine, and then just track forward again. If you find a point where the mask tracking fails completely, you can try tracking forward a frame at a time from the last good frame, or manually editing the masked nodes frame by frame until the motion tracking gets to a point where it can successfully automatically track again. Obviously, the more complex the mask, the more manual adjustments you're likely to have to make. I'm happy with my mask now, so I can return to the timeline for the fun part. I want the mask to stay the same color, but the background to fade to black and white. So I'll select the background track, and then select the track's color properties and remove all the saturation from the clip. This looks great, but I want the effect to fade in rather than suddenly jump to black and white. And this is why I've got the clip duplicated on this other track. I'll keyframe transparency to go from 0 to 100, and then back out again at the end of the clip. Now I've got a blend between the two clips with the background fading to black and white. Now for text. I'll create a text clip, change the font, and then I'll make it the same color as the car. Then go back to the timeline and make the text clip the same length as these masked clips. Then, as I want the text to appear from beneath the car itself, I'll drag it so it's between the masked clip and the desaturated background clip. Then just animate the text position and size so it starts hidden underneath the car layer, then appears on the left of the screen, and then goes back under the car at the end. I can then color grade the original clip and the masked clip of the car so that they match. I'm using the same LUT on both clips. And I'm done. A great effect to add some pop to my video project. So next time you're editing, make use of motion tracking. Your only limit is your own creativity. Happy editing.